What's going on? Chris CJ Jones here, feeling untamed and off the chain. And if you're the type of person who knows what to do, has started before, has made progress before, but still can't seem to stay consistent, this is exactly where you need to be because this week exposed something totally different. Not just why people don't go all in, but where execution actually breaks. Like most people think they have one problem, they don't. They break at different stages depending on pressure. So today, I'm going to show you exactly where execution breaks, even when you're trying. So, like I said, you think you have one problem, right? Execution doesn't fail in one place, it fails in multiple places for different reasons. Like some people never start, some people stay busy, some people delay, some people when it feels off. Some people can't stay consistent. Some people can't recover. Some people grow and then they collapse. Like you could see it, different behaviors, same result. So the question is, where do you break? Not where do you struggle, but where do you break? And so there's 10 breaking points. Keep up, follow along. Let's do this. All right. So breaking point one, it's before you start, AKA overlearning. Like some people don't start. And it's not because they're lazy, it's because they're always learning something. More videos, more courses, more ideas. And it feels like progress. It does. But nothing ever changes because learning delays decisions. That whole thing of, I need more clarity. No, you don't. What you need to do is decide. And so, breaking point two is people are busy, but not building. They're always doing something, busy all day, but nothing actually moves forward. Because when you think about it, busyness is it's the cleanest form of avoidance. Like you're doing things, just not the right things. All right, breaking point three, that's the decision gap. It's that moment. You know that moment where you already know what to do and then you hesitate. All right, let me think about it for a little bit. I'll start tomorrow. Monday's a new day. That moment right there, that's the moment where execution breaks. Not later, right there in that moment. Then you have breaking point four. I call this one discomfort or even the recoil. Like you start, you move, you build some momentum, like you're going, but then something feels off and then you slow down. Like not because you can't continue, because it feels unfamiliar. So what do? You go back. Like you didn't fall off, you just return to that comfort. Then we have breaking point five. Woo, no structure. Like some people, they can execute. You give them something to do, they're they're doing it, but only when something is forcing them to do it. Sort of like having a job, uh, a schedule, a deadline. Wait to that last minute. But if you remove that, then they stop. Not because they don't have discipline, they have conditions. That's the big difference. All right, so now we got breaking point six. It's the consistency collapse. Like you start something, you don't see results right away, so you switch up. Try something else, try something new. You reset, start again. And now you're stuck in the loop, starting but never really staying to see it all the way through. Now we got breaking point seven, which would be the recovery delay, right? Life is always lifing. It's complex, sometimes confusing, not perfect. So that means something goes wrong. And then you sit in it for hours, sometimes for days, sometimes even longer than that. And that's where you lose momentum. Like it's not the actual setback that sets you back, it's how long you stay inside of that setback. So now we got breaking point 8, the expansion collapse. Now, this one right here, this is the advanced level. Like you're actually growing, and you're from you growing, you're actually able to do more. You're actually thinking bigger. Well, what happens when your structure doesn't grow with you? Yep, that's right. You collapse. Not because you failed, but because you weren't built to sustain that level yet. Now we have breaking point 9. It's the transition pressure. Yep, transition pressure. There's this in between phase. Like you left the old version of yourself, but you haven't stabilized the new one. So it means everything feels off. And that's where most people quit. Not because it's wrong, but because it's uncomfortable. We don't like to be uncomfortable. And so, last but certainly not least, we have breaking point 10, the consequence gap. And this is the one nobody talks about. Like you don't execute because nothing happens if you don't. Like no consequence, no cost, no pressure. So you stall. Nothing's gonna if I don't do this, I won't lose anything. If I don't do this, I won't gain anything. So you stall. So you don't like discipline. You lack a consequence. And so when you look at all that, that's not one problem. That is an entire system. Like you don't fail because you don't know what to do. You fail because your execution breaks at different stages. So the question comes, what do you actually need? I tell you this, you don't need another plan. You don't. You don't need more motivation. You need an identity that execute at every stage. Before you start, while you're building, when it gets uncomfortable, after you get hit, when no one's watching. That's what we call stability. So be honest. What stage do you break in the most? Not occasionally, not sometimes, but consistently break. That is your real work. Like at this point, you already know what not to do. You know where you break. So the question is, are you going to fix that stage or repeat it again next week? So if you don't trust yourself to follow through, no strategy will save you. This isn't about motivation, it's about stability. And if you're the type of person who carries responsibility and you're done restarting, subscribe because this is where execution gets installed. Like I always say, be safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.